Hello, everybody.
Hello, here we go on another trip down memory lane.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I'm
I brought
super-
the snacks. Did you bring anything?
I brought the drinks.
Yeah? Did you remember the sweet tea?
No.
Would you bring the Captain, whatever it is, Captain
Yes.
Rum or whatever?
Yes. Something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I brought the snacks. So where are we
Yeah.
heading today?
Today, we are headed to the music era. Well, not era, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're going to talk about Woodstock?
Ooh. Honestly, I wish I was there for Woodstock.
I came close.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wasn't willing to go to juvenile hall because I was just a kid.
I wasn't even
I would
thought
have
of
been
yet.
considered a runaway, and running all the way across the country would have been pretty scary, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm into the classics type of stuff. So I think Woodstock would have been cool to see. You know?
Woodstock, the videos that I've seen of Woodstock were beyond amazing. I kind of felt sorry for the people that were there because it rained pretty much the entire time they were there, and there was nothing but mud everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? They endured and persevered, and it just shows that time in our history, those people that were at Woodstock were rebels. Because if that kind of a venue was put on today, it would have been 100% commercial. You would have had all these big wig name sponsors involved in it, and this was just kind of a winging it kind of thing,
Yeah.
And Woodstock was the epitome of what rock and roll was meant to be.
Oh, I bet.
In my opinion,
I know that they tried to redo Woodstock, I want to say in 1999.
They did.
And it was probably one of the worst live events, or not live event. Well, like that type of event, it was probably one of the worst ever.
Because it was very corporate commercial. Because they took the concept of what Woodstock was, and they tried to rebrand it, and all of these production companies and stuff got involved, and it ended up not being what Woodstock was, because they tried to pull in some of the original artists that were at Woodstock, and sad to say, half of them were dead.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. And so they'd have to bring in copycatters, for lack of a better term, to try and put this on and make it big and grandiose. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't. It just didn't happen.
Well, not just that, but like, I want to say there's a documentary about Woodstock 99, and like everything that happened that shouldn't have happened, people dying, all the corporate sponsors not really caring about it anymore, not helping out, people dying from
fentanyl overdoses,
not enough food, not enough water, not enough shelter.
Drugs.
All that stuff. For me, it would have been cool to experience the concept of the music portion.
Right.
Everything outside of that, no, I'm good.
Yeah. But what they should have done is they should have brought in those musicians that are still alive to sit and maybe play what their set was back in the day, and then do a Q&A with those that are still alive, and have them talk about backstage secrets of 100%. What actually took place, and maybe do something on a smaller scale, because you got to remember when Woodstock happened, the guy's farm that it happened on, it wasn't supposed to be as big as it was. It was supposed to be an outdoor backyard music kind of thing, and word got out via various radio stations, and more people started showing up. And when they started showing up, the guy just went, bring it in, because he was probably floating on a cloud somewhere himself.
Exactly.
And so when they did the remake, if they had done it more, rather than try to copy something that can't be copied, they should have tried to not rebrand it, but do a documentary on it.
Yeah.
Kind of, inviting, like the picture of the guy and the girl with the blankets wrapped around them, soaking wet because it had just downpoured. That couple actually got married and are still alive.
Yeah. And still married to each other. Yeah.
Interviewed talking about what their experience was like. That would have been a better thing,
Yeah.
But no, corporate bigwigs decided to rebrand it and reboot it. And I'm sorry, there's just some classic things that have happened in the past that you just can't reboot and make it fly.
Yeah.
You just can't, because the generation that was around during the time it was originally out there doing great things are still around, and they remember what the original was. And when they see the reboot, it's like, it's not the same. It's,
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Growing up, who were your favorites listening to, like, as you were growing up from I mean, obviously I don't know when you actually started listening to music. If it was before high school, during high school, but like who were the artists that you loved listening to, growing up?
Okay. So I'm going to totally age myself here. Okay. It's just a number. I'm good with it. Whatever. So my earliest recollection of really good music was Sinatra.
Ooh.
Jack Benny.
Okay.
Nat King Cole. Now, these individuals had been out for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I'm talking 4th, 5th, 6th grade.
Okay.
Then starting late 6th grade into maybe 8th grade, maybe. We're talking 68 through 70, 67 through 70 was when I was introduced to groups like the Beatles, the Stones, the Monkees, the Byrds. And then we had the Four Tops and Aretha Franklin. And, we had the R&B people, Otis Redding. We had those kind of people that we were listening to.
Yeah.
Then in high school, it was more of because we're talking 70 to 74. Okay. So Beatles had kind of broke up. Stones were still around. Janis Joplin was dead. She was another one. Jimi Hendrix was dead, I think. We're talking Vietnam era. So we're talking a lot of folk artists like Joni Mitchell. We're talking Cat Stevens. We're talking a lot of R&B was around, but it wasn't as prevalent as like the Stones really got big during Nam.
Yeah.
Huge during Nam. The Monkees were big. Beatles were breaking up right about then. So Paul McCartney was starting to go solo.
Yeah.
And but you had a lot of the folk artists as well, like Buffy St. Marie and Buffy Springfield, and there was a lot of Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking.
Yes.
Okay.
Great song too.
This was an era of less than a decade, maybe right at a decade, where you saw genres change and develop very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly. Like in the 90s, you had, well, in the 80s, you have the big hair. Okay. Aquanet.
Oh, like the perms and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, you had the big hair bands. Okay. And then you went into the punk rock bands. And then you went into the rap groups. Okay. But these were spread out more than they were in my age, in my era. Okay. Because we're talking mid 60s through mid 70s, and genres changed very quickly during that period of time.
I think so, oh, there you are. I thought you froze for a minute.
No.
For me, it was okay. So when you met Dad,
right.
I was about 5 years old. He was already doing the whole band thing with Bob and Fortress of Solitude and
Mike Talley.
Yeah. I want to say, and I honestly feel that this was my first concert.
Okay.
Was when Dad was working with, I don't remember the guy's name, that had his own. Yes. And we were living in Camarillo. And it was the Beach Boys with John Stamos.
In Ventura.
At the beach.
Yes.
Yes. I want to say that was my very first concert.
It probably was. Now, just know that the band that was playing was not the Beach Boys. That was a cover band that John Stamos was a part of. That was not the Beach Boys.
What?
Yeah. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it wasn't. It was a cover band that that dressed like them, talked like them, did things like them. The only celebrity that was there for that event was John Stamos.
That is unacceptable.
Now, the Beach Boys, I grew up in Huntington Beach. For those that are listening and watching, Huntington Beach was Surf City, USA. And back in the late 60s, early 70s, it was not uncommon for girls, young girls, to be bikini clad with no shoes on all day.
Yeah.
Like all day. Okay. And the Beach Boys actually, well, one of them had an apartment loft kind of thing directly above the prominent surf shop.
Okay.
And I remember one time, this was a day that that me and Kathy and some neighbor girls were at the beach. And we were sunbathing because we thought we were glorious and like Annette Funicello and, and Gidget or whatever. And
Gidget.
And we had this, what we at the time referred to as the sand preacher.
Yeah.
That would stand on the sand and pray over all the young people because he was concerned for our souls because of the way we were dressed. Okay. And there was one time that we were there, and this sand preacher was standing on the edge of the sand and the asphalt right next to the snack bar. And Mike Love from the Beach Boys walks over and kind of puts his arm around the sand preacher and kisses him right on.
Oh my God.
And the guy was like, it's hilarious.
That's so funny.
And they started talking arm in arm, walking down the boardwalk, arm in arm, talking, turned around, came all the way back, stopped where the sand preacher was standing. They shook hands and he went back to his apartment.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, in my era, it's kind of hard to keep track of how many genres I listened to, because there was blues and gospel and country. You know, the Charlie Daniels band was prominent. Sonny and Cher was prominent.
Yeah.
There was
Willie Nelson, Hank Williams.
Yeah. And so in my time, from like I said, probably 5th, 6th grade till I was out of high school, the genres changed real quick.
Yeah. See,
but now if you say, what kind of genre music do you remember being so prominent in the 80s?
Yeah.
You would probably instantly say big hair bands. Van Halen.
Bon Jovi. Poison.
Yeah. If I say, what was the music genre in the 90s, which remember now, this is a whole decade. This is 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
What bands were more prominent in the 90s?
That was more grunge. So like Nirvana.
Rap, punk rock.
Yeah.
Do you remember the day that your sister came home from middle school, from junior high, and came into the house in Camarillo and told your dad that she had just heard this brand new band and, oh, they're wonderful and he's got to hear them. And your dad said, really, what's the name of the band? And she goes, it's Aerosmith. And your dad about dropped his dentures and I spit my coffee.
Yeah. Because they had been around since like the early 70s. Yeah, they had been around since like the early 70s.
Yeah, but it was new to her. And she just loved them. She thought they were the greatest thing since buttered milk. So, and then when we roll into the 2000s, country kicked back in.
Yeah.
And it became a prominent thing. Country became a prominent thing. But then you mix that with the Beyoncés and the
Taylor Swifts. Yeah.
I mean, when we were in the 80s, we had Madonna and we had Cyndi Lauper and, those kind of people.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at Madonna, who's in her mid 60s, trying to be 24.
Yep.
But I know that when your dad was alive, he was in numerous bands.
Yeah.
And he played everything. He played blues, he played country, he played rock, he wrote his own songs. He did it all.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
What of your era, what were your go-to bands that you listened to besides your dad?
Yeah. So I remember, I want to say junior high and most of high school, I was so into like hip hop and rap. Like every time I would get in the car with my buddy Jeff, you know, he was always into rock and metal and stuff. And at that time for me, I could not get into it. Like I had to listen to Power 106 and Kiss FM and 92.3 The Beat. And that's all I wanted to listen to. Well, towards the end of high school and then forever on, all I want to listen to is rock and metal.
Yeah.
You know, working at a music venue and being exposed to all types of artists, all types of genres of music. I'm still prominent with metal. Like, you know how like when you're upset and you want to listen to something to calm you down, like kind of relax you, metal does that with me.
That's weird.
You know,
that's weird. But you know, everybody's ear is different.
Yeah. But I mean, I listen to everything from like you said, Frank Sinatra, Benny Goodman, you know. I listen to country like George Strait, Garth Brooks, Chris Ledoux, Tim McGraw, to R&B, you know, like I remember my very first CD that I got, was this group called Shai, SHAI. And I played the crap out of that CD. I don't have the CD anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but I listened to that CD like nonstop.
Right.
It was the type of music that I was into at that time.
Right.
Not to say that I don't listen to Shai now. I really don't, but I try and listen to different types, you know, whatever interests me. I have a playlist that has, you know, techno and hip hop and rock and rap and, you know, all that stuff. But I'm always going to stick with metal. It's you know,
headbanger music.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Headbanger stuff.
Yeah.
So now for me, I mean, I'll like listen to other music. Like every now and then I'll be driving down the road and the station that I listen to all the time isn't available. I get the scratchies and there's a snowstorm in my radio. And so I have to switch the channel and I'll go to old classic rock.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that I know. And I remember one time I was driving down the 91 freeway and my station decided to have a snowstorm. And so I switched it to this old classic rock station. I don't know what the channel is. It's number 6 on my radio. My favorite of all time, Phil Collins song came on. And
was it In the Air Tonight?
Where you anticipate the major bridge in the song because it's primarily background organ music and he's singing, but then it gets to this bridge. And God help me if I ever got into an accident because of this bridge, it would not surprise me, but I never have, because I would literally be rocking out and I go, boom, 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 boom.
That's
Hang on.
Uh-oh. I think we have a surprise guest, maybe.
Hey, we have a surprise guest. How are you? I'm on a live. We're talking about music genres. Would you like to join in? So I have John from the CPR company down the road.
Hey guys.
Very cool.
Down the road.
There you go.
Hello there.
So we're talking about music that we used to listen to from our past with the various generations between my son and I, and the music today. And I was talking about that one Phil Collins song that is primarily just instrumental with him singing till it gets to that amazing bridge where it goes ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum,
That
ba-bum,
is
ba-bum.
In the Air Tonight.
Yes.
That song makes my heart skip a beat.
Yeah.
Okay. Journey.
Don't Stop Believing.
Journey.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. When I was younger, I was so in love with him.
Oh yeah.
He's old like me now. But yeah, I mean, today I primarily listen to Christian music, but
Okay.
when my radio becomes snowstorm infested, I turn the channel to 6 and I listen to old rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here. Woohoo! Okay, send it to me. Okay. So for me, while I was part of the hard rock thing, part of that metal thing, because I lived through it through your dad.
Yeah.
Mine was more of an easy listening kind of thing.
Okay.
I never really got into punk. I really didn't. I love Cyndi Lauper. I thought she was, send me to a Pink concert and I'll be in heaven.
Like the artist Pink?
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Because, and I'll tell you why. Her music is amazing.
Yeah.
Her mindset is off the charts.
It's almost
She's
like
the
her
most woman empowering individual I've ever known.
It's almost like her music has a message.
It does.
Yeah. She's got a song which is one of my favorite songs of hers, Family Portrait.
Yes.
Freaking phenomenal song.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree with you. Her music is out of this world.
Yeah. Yeah. I love her. But then on the other hand, I also love Reba McEntire.
Oh, who doesn't love Reba McEntire?
2 different genres. There are
yeah.
some, and I emphasize the word some, Kelly Clarkson stuff that I like. She's had to do what she's had to do to survive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's allowed herself to become excessively corporate. Reba McEntire is the bomb diggity bomb. Garth Brooks is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sad that we lost Toby Keith.
100%.
So sad that we lost Toby Keith. Clint Black is still around.
Yeah.
Bo Cephas is still around. Winona Judd is still around.
Yeah.
These are individuals that have made an impact on this world while going through some horrendous traumas in their lives.
Yeah.
And they're still upright. They're still upright. That speaks volumes for me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of the Monkees, there's only one left, and that's Mickey Dolenz. Everybody else is dead. Of the Bee Gees, there's only one left, and that's the oldest brother.
Yeah.
I never was a Michael Jackson fan, ever.
I was literally just going to ask you about that.
Never really was a Michael Jackson fan. I felt sorry for him.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about family trauma. Yeah. No, never was. I had friends that were huge Jackson 5 friends. I never was. But then again, I also was not an Osmond friend either.
Yeah.
I wasn't. They made people in the community made fun of their big teeth. It was too popsicle for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know? Yeah. Huge Cher fan, huge Charlie Daniels fan. Wasn't too keen on Sonny Bono. I thought he was creepy. Crystal Gale. I loved Crystal Gale. Loretta Lynn. I was a major Loretta Lynn fan. Not too keen on Patsy Cline, but then again, when I started listening to music, she wasn't alive anymore either. So,
yeah.
But for you had the experience of George Michael and Boy George.
Yeah.
The come chameleon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy George and the Culture, or the Culture Club, I think was the band that he was
Culture
with.
Club. Yeah. They were huge during that time.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to say this, growing up with all different types of music that both you and Dad listen to, to me getting into certain styles of music. I'm just now getting into Kiss. Like Kiss's music, like certain songs that aren't super popular, like they're not really played on the radio that much. I'm getting into, which is like
old.
Makes no sense to me. Why now I'm getting into Kiss? Why now?
See, I was into Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because, as you know, Dad went to school with Eddie Van Halen.
Yes, he did. And his brother Alex. Yep.
Yeah. Which I thought was kind of cool,
And he played in a garage band with Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Because they all lived in the same community. They all got high together. They all rode together. They all, they did things that they shouldn't have been alive after they did it the first time.
Yeah.
But God had plans for them. And look at them today. Look at Bret Michaels, who all the girls thought was just the most gorgeous thing in the world till he took his bandana off and they all discovered he was bald as a billiard ball. The old man haircut where he's bald here and it's all long in the back. Yeah.
No party on top.
Springsteen. They just announced today on the news that Springsteen is doing a show in Vegas, a one-night gig in Vegas, and his entire band is still together.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
Sure.
If you had the opportunity to see a band or an artist, whether they're alive or dead, who would it be? Who would be that one band or artist that you would love to see one time?
In person? Like in a concert?
Yes. It's a tough one.
Well, if I could have 3 choices.
Okay, we can do your top 3.
The top 3?
Yeah.
The first one would have to be Journey, the original Journey.
Okay.
The second one, Pink.
Okay.
The third one, probably Van Halen.
Okay.
I know that's kind of odd, the connections, but maybe Phil Collins.
If it's
played that one song over and over and over again.
If it was Van Halen, who would be the lead singer, Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth?
David Lee Roth.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you not a Sammy Hagar fan?
Sammy Hagar fan?
Not really.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
All right.
All right.
Interesting.
Interesting.
No, I kind of got a bit sour on Sammy Hagar after he did a impromptu concert at Mile Square Park. And he not only showed up 30 minutes late, but when he did show up, he was drunker than a skunk and couldn't remember the words to his songs.
Wow.
Wow.
And that turned me way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think number 4 would have to be Fortress of Solitude with your dad on bass.
Oh,
Oh,
that would be
that
amazing.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
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 All right.
All right.
For me,
What about you?
first would be Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Love music, love
Love
the psychedelicness of Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Pink Floyd as well.
As well.
I'm a huge Pink
The
Floyd
Wall?
fan.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Oh my God.
God.
Yeah.
Probably Michael Jackson,
Michael Jackson.
just to get that
Okay.
experience because,
because
okay, you're not a huge fan of Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
No.
Most of his music I like,
I like.
you know, bad.
Although I did like him in the studio rendition of We Are the World.
Yes.
Yes.
He did a movie, which is one of my favorite movies of him, called Moonwalker.
Moonwalker.
Yeah, I remember.
And it has one of my all-time favorite songs from him, which is Dirty Diana.
Diana.
Right.
That he rarely ever performed. I think there was one time he went to visit Princess Diana before she died, and she was going to his concert in
London.
like wherever out there. And she had requested that song.
Right.
He didn't
And
play
he
it
took
though.
it out.
Yeah, he
He
didn't
took
play
it
it
out. Yeah.
out of respect for her.
Right.
But yeah, Michael Jackson would definitely be in my top 3.
Okay.
I obviously
Yeah,
I would want to see. Huh?
Do you have a slide into 4th?
It would have to be Fortress of Solitude as well, just
Yeah.
to see him one more time. You know.
Yeah. So you were saying that you distinctly remember potentially your very first concert being the one that you had just mentioned.
No, I remember my potentially first concert. What I thought was the actual band was Beach Boys.
Was the Beach Boys. Yeah. Okay. My very first official concert was in 1970, Anaheim Convention Center, Elton John.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And our tickets were in the nosebleed section. Or should I say the weed feed section? Because there was like this cloud
Oh yeah.
at the top. But the one thing I distinctly remember about that concert was him getting on top of his piano and standing on his piano in a pantsuit that was see-through. So the lights are blaring, the lights that were behind him were blaring through this see-through suit. And when I say you could see it all, you could see it all. Okay? This concert was not televised, but shit tons of pictures were taken.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my gosh. He was too far away for me to really see anything.
Yeah.
Like you could see the silhouette of the baggage.
No thanks.
No, thanks.
I was almost 15. Yeah. Like
No
your
thanks.
niece's age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
That was
I'm
my
good.
very first concert. Speaking of your niece, she just recently informed me that, you know, Hannah's got her own liking of music. And some of the songs that she listens to, I've never heard.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the bands are. I don't know who the music, whatever. She used to like, who is it? Chelsea Ballerini or something.
No idea.
And then this Ballerini girl decided she was going to do something that Hannah didn't agree with, and now she doesn't like her, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She loves Pink. She thinks Pink's the greatest. But she listens to Christian music. She listens to country music. She listens to music I've never heard. But she recently came to me kind of on the same line as your sister, sort of, with the Aerosmith thing. Yeah. Which I don't know whether I talked about that in this. I may have talked about previous, but anyway. She came to me the other day and she comes into my room, doors closed, she knocks, comes in, and she looks at me and she goes, "Grandma." I said, "What?" Being all dramatic. And she goes, "I just heard it." I said, "You heard what?" And she said, "A guy singing." And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "No, you have to hear this." I said, "Okay." And so she plays this song. And I don't remember the title of the song, but I know that it starts with the beat, do 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 do, and he talks about in the very first one of the lyrics is talking about Michelle Pfeiffer. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can't remember the name of the song, but this is what she played for me. And I went, "Oh yeah, I know that song. Yeah, I know that guy." And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Hannah, do you even know who he is?" She goes, "His name is Bruno Mars." And oh my gosh. I said, "Is this your new crush?" And she goes, "Grandma." And I went, "Uh-oh."
It's more than a crush.
A crush.
Yeah, I'm thinking it probably is more than a crush. So I asked her one time, I said, "Now, if I find out that he's local and in concert and I'm able to get tickets, would you go?" She goes, "Stupid question, Grandma." And I said, "Well, can I go too?" And she goes, "No."
Well, then you don't get to go. Sorry.
And I said, "Well, then I'm not going to buy you tickets unless he is playing at a venue that your Uncle Michael works at. Because then your Uncle Michael can watch you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, "I don't think he'll ever play there."
I don't think he'd ever play there
Never say
either.
never, my dear. Never say never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There is
don't
a
think he.
chance.
Yeah. I don't think
Maybe,
maybe,
but
but
very
I
doubtful.
said, "What about Anaheim Convention Center and your Uncle Michael can take you since you don't want me there?" And she goes, "Well, your Uncle Michael can take me because, you know, he is my bodyguard."
Unacceptable.
unacceptable.
Yeah, I think this girl's in love. What do you think?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Now, I think Bruno Mars is really good. I've always liked Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Little bit young for me, but I've always thought he was, you know, good at
Yeah.
what he does. He's good at his craft. But to have my 15-year-old granddaughter come and tell me that she thinks he's the greatest thing since buttered milk.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
There's like a 15-year age gap.
Between her and Bruno Mars? No, Bruno Mars is a lot older than that.
A lot older than that.
Bruno Mars is in his early 30s.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know how old he is.
Here,
I don't know how.
let me Google it,
Oh my God.
Oh God.
right? Watch. How old is Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars is 38 years old.
So late 30s.
Late 30s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tell Hannah no.
Hannah, no.
She can love him from a distance.
Yeah. Love him from afar.
Afar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Oh
No.
my gosh. But that just goes to show you that musicians of our era can rebrand themselves with the younger crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it a minute. Mick Jagger is in his 70s. When I think about Mick Jagger being in his 70s, I'm like, there's no freaking way he's in his 70s. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way. He's
Yeah.
in his 70s. Oh, but he is. So this makes me feel very old.
You're not
you
old.
know?
You're not old.
No, I'm not old. But in the chronological way of things, when he became popular in my era, I was Hannah's age.
Yeah.
I was a little
Yeah.
bit younger than Hannah's age. Okay. And he was the thing, okay, between him and the Beatles and the Monkees and all that. And so I'm thinking he's right along the same plateau as me.
Yeah.
Till I realized that, yeah, he is the same plateau as me, and I'm old.
See,
I mean, look
this
at
is
Keith Richards. I don't think Keith Richards is ever going to die.
oh God, no.
Oh God, no.
No. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny working in a music venue and being exposed to so many different types of bands and the music genres and all that stuff. I have a great admiration for music. Not just because I was in choir in high school and dad was in a band and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have more of an appreciation for music.
Yeah.
Let me tell you though, I've been with this company for going on 17 years, and I've seen thousands of artists. Some artists that have come back numerous times,
Yeah.
but
Some
there
that
are
have gone
bands.
to greatness and others that have fallen off the charts.
There are bands that I grew up with that I got to see at my work, that I never thought I would, we had Extreme play there. We've had, oh my God, BB King performed there many a times,
Right.
just,
So I'm going to show you something. I said Mick Jagger was in his 70s.
yes.
He's 80.
83.
No, he's 80. Keith Richards, 80.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler from Aerosmith,
Yeah.
75. Paul McCartney from the Beatles,
Yeah.
81.
And they're still rocking.
How is this possible? Well, Hello, I'm not that far behind them. Rod Stewart, 79. Ringo Starr, 83. Elton John, 76.
Yeah, Elton John just retired. Period.
I know.
Like he's
I
not
know.
even performing. Like, yeah, craziness.
No. Yeah. So it just goes to show you that what was popular in my era
Mm.
is still popular today. It's just that they're more geriatric than they used to be.
Yeah.
You know, I would have, if I had dentures, I would have lost my dentures if Hannah came to me and said, "Oh, Grandma,
Yeah.
I just heard this guy. He's amazing." Oh, really? Yeah, he's got this band called Wings. What's the name of the guy? Paul McCartney. He's such a dreamboat. I would have looked at her and said, "Are you aware of the fact that that man is almost the same age as your Grammy?"
Yeah. Yeah.
There, he said, I would have like, what in the world? You can obviously tell that your niece has an old soul, okay? Because she's into all these older people. But here's the weird part. Your nephew, huge Beatles fan.
Oh, yeah.
Only music he listens to is the Beatles. And every now and then he will be in the kitchen cooking something and he'll be singing. He'll be singing Yellow Submarine.
We all live in a yellow submarine. Yellow submarine.
And one
Yeah.
time he was doing it and I was like, what the hell is he singing? And I'd walk out. What are you singing? Oh, I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm listening to my radio on my phone. I know, but what is it that you're singing? Yellow Submarine. I said, by the Beatles? Yeah, they're amazing. I'm like, alrighty then.
Yeah, turn around and walk away. Just, oh my God.
Alrighty then. Oh, Grandma, have you ever heard them? No, not at all.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
anything. No. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Music
So-
is definitely a big influence on a lot of people,
It is.
which is amazing. But
Yeah.
there is music like hip hop and rap nowadays. To me, I'm not a fan of the new style of hip hop. I'm, give me the old school,
Right.
Run DMC,
Yeah.
Easy E. I hate to say it, NWA.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
NWA.
Yeah.
The messages and cool.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think about Beyonce's genre switch?
First off, I'm not a Beyonce fan. Thank God I'm not a single lady. Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen you in a dress, dude.
Whoa. Hey. Anyway, not a Beyonce fan. So that's kind of like Taylor Swift going from country to pop.
Okay.
Not a fan.
No. So when it was announced that she was going country, I thought, now you're grasping at straws, girlfriend. Now you're like, that your genre, your time is coming to a close. Okay. For a brief moment. Okay.
Yeah.
The universe is telling you take a break. Okay. For her to switch to country and wear the clothes that she wears, which are clearly not country, I think two things. She's either going through a major midlife crisis or she's trying to keep up with the Swifties.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was recently on Facebook a meme with her and Dolly Parton. Now, we all know that Dolly Parton wears some pretty skin tight clothing. She has for years.
That's
It's
her style.
brand.
Yeah.
But here's the difference between her and Beyonce. Never once have you ever seen Dolly Parton wear anything as skimpy as Beyonce.
Yeah.
Ever. Okay. The fantasy is there. The fantasy's always been there. She always leaves things to the imagination. Beyonce doesn't. She just flaunts what she's got.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that I don't wish her well. I do, because I don't wish anybody ill will. But at the same time, I think she's making a huge mistake
Yeah.
in her
See,
career.
and that's my thing is stick with what you started with. Don't try to switch genres to make yourself go better. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Beyonce and I'm not knocking Taylor Swift, going from country to pop.
Right.
I'm all for them trying to thrive and succeed in whatever they're doing. I'm just not going to follow it.
Right. I'm not jumping on this bandwagon. It's a rocky road, and I choose not to do it. Now, Beyonce is monetarily below Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's billionaire, just like Rihanna. Two different genres. Okay. And Rihanna and Taylor, while they've never collabed, okay, they respect each other.
Yeah.
And they respect each other's lanes. Whereas Beyonce believes she's the queen of all queens because that's what everybody's told her.
Yeah.
And she's trying to keep up with the Joneses, for lack of a better term, I think. And sadly, I don't think it's going to work. I really don't.
What a lot of artists are doing. They're switching genres, thinking that it's gonna go well for them. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We're never gonna know until it happens. But
yeah,
like, come on, that's like saying Led Zeppelin starts doing hip hop. It's not gonna work.
Or Kenny Rogers.
It's not gonna work.
No, because they have their brand. Stay with your brand.
I'm going to give them the credit. Try it. Go for it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, here's a big "I told you so." But if it's something that you want to do, go for it.
Right.
You may lose some fans. You may gain some more fans.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not.
So, where do you think over the next decade, where do you think music is going to go?
Oh man. I think it's going to stay the way it is.
You do?
We're going to have those hip hop artists that do the mumble rap that you can't understand what they're saying. To the I honestly believe classic rock like Bon Jovi and again Led Zeppelin, Kiss. That style of music is going away forever.
You think so?
100%. There's an artist that is trying to kind of be, at least to me, trying to be like Led Zeppelin, and that is what is his name? Greta Von something. Von Zink, something like that. He's got
Okay.
a voice that's like Robert Plant and Jimmy Page.
Okay.
The music is kind of 70s classic, freaking psychedelic type stuff. Cool. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all.
No.
But I think like that style isn't going to be around that much longer because
Interesting.
everybody's going towards the hip hop, you tell me if you like country that's got rap in it. I don't.
Not really. There's been a couple of collaborations that I thought were cool, but country's country, rap is rap. Sorry.
Yeah.
I honestly think that we're going to probably see an uptick in Christian artists.
Okay.
Not so much gospel as much as Christian rock and Christian country. There's a lot of new artists out there that are writing music that other Christian artists are producing. And these writers are now starting to kind of produce their own.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty darn good. Others not so much, but some of them are pretty darn good. And I'll tell you, I think I don't know how long it'll stick around. It usually doesn't stick around for very long, but I think we're going to see an uptick in more Christian country and Christian rock genres.
Yeah.
Over the next decade, I think. Not so much, Jesus Bible thumping in your face kind of stuff, but more uplifting spiritual kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I listened to an artist and I've seen him at least 4 times. They're a Christian band. Freaking phenomenal. And if you ever got, or anybody else ever got a chance that has never seen them, they definitely need to, like you would definitely need to. And it's a band called Need to Breathe.
Need to Breathe.
Yeah, Need, like NEED to Breathe. They're not a metal band. What's that?
The word 2 or the number 2?
The word 2. All one word, Need to Breathe. They're not a Bible thumping band, but they're definitely a Christian band. They're not a hard rock, metal screamo type, but they're not like boring. They're extremely interesting. It's a very well made band. Like I said, I've seen them at least 3 or 4 times.
Have they been to Blues?
They have been at least 2 to 3 times that I've seen them.
Really?
And every time that every time that they play, I have to go and see them. Phenomenal.
Huh. I'll have to check those guys out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I think future music is going to go.
Okay.
I think the era of the synthesizer is dead.
Yeah.
I think hip hop is getting a bit old. And sadly, I think a lot of the downfall with artists today is this Illuminati concept.
Yeah.
And speculators saying that they've sold their soul and they're robotic and blah blah blah. It kind of takes away from the brand itself. But I wouldn't be surprised because there's been people that have sold their soul to make it on the in the industry. And sadly, there are young impressionable minds that are seeing this stuff and believing that it's all true.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad, that grown adults that know better would try to impress young minds into believing that, their way is the best way.
100%.
100%.
I think it's super sad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as adults, it's our job to make sure that we provide proper musical genres on these impressionable minds. I mean, there's young kids Hannah's age that love Pink. I mean, Hannah loves Pink. Pink's pretty rowdy.
Yeah,
but
she
she's
can
got
be.
a good head on her shoulders. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And she's pro girl. She's pro female empowerment. You know, that's what music needs to be about, is empowerment, not
Yeah.
Illuminati. You know,
That's for another discussion, honestly.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
Do you have anything else to add?
not at this moment, no. I mean, we
No?
could continue and nonstop
Hours.
about music.
Hours
Yeah.
and hours and hours. Yes,
But I want to save that for another episode.
Another episode.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I think this honestly was one of the greatest episodes. You know, getting input from you and you know, going back and
Sorry
forth.
if I kind of hogged the mic a little bit, but you know,
It's okay.
I've been around a bit longer.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm used to it.
You kind of have to be.
I kind of have to be, yes.
Yes. Yes. I don't know where your voice went, but I can't hear you. I hear the music, but not you.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Not good.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like I was saying, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This was an awesome episode. I can't wait for the next one.
Yes. Yes. Like and subscribe.
Yes, please like and subscribe
Like and subscribe.
on our YouTube channel, please.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Like and subscribe.
Who knows? Maybe one of you will be a part of an episode. You know,
That
get
would
your
be
guys'
cool.
input.
That would be cool.
Drop us a line, letting us know what your top three favorite artists are, or maybe top 5. And on our next episode, we'll announce some of those.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Thank you for joining us.
That'd be cool.
Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode. I did. And yeah, till the next one. Let's hit the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.